welcome back to Miss Azrael's Gaming. So today we're going to I believe we're finishing Lucifer Within Us. Hopefully you've been enjoying this game. I know I have. It's been really interesting. And the whole concept is just really neat. I like how they've chose to show you how the character reacts to their testimony, like the steps that they take and what they actually do during their testimony, so you can actually see it instead of just hearing it from them. So it's very interesting concept. So let's go ahead and we're going to the chapel case. So poisoned by Father Augustine against me, Abbot Gregory ordered I remain outside the chapel for his mass. At midnight, the gathered pilgrims lifted their voices in praise to Ansoft, but they were cut short by a thunderous crash. Another soul taken. St. Walpurga's Abbey Chapel.
Virgil, where's Abbot Gregory? What interrupted his mass?
The abbot. His death was the interruption. A third murder, I'm afraid. The lights went out during mass. Moments later, the statue of St. Walpurga crashed down from the ceiling, impaling Abbot Gregory with its spear.
An assassination, then. But why? We must determine who is possessed immediately. Examining the facts will reveal Ainsoft's truth. How was the statue held in place?
Due to its weight, we had to rely on using aether-powered restraints to hang it above the altar. Which means the killer must have sabotaged the 2 power generators on the balcony floor. There were only 2 people on the balcony during the mass. I've detained them for interrogation. I've sent the pilgrims back to town, lest they panic and disturb the evidence.
Excellent work, Virgil. Who are the suspects? You said there were 2.
You already know them. Brother Gideon and Father Augustine.
Since you are a key witness to the events, I will of course hear your testimony as well. May Ainsoft show us the truth behind all of today's events.
Okay, so we already know. Let's check this really quick. We have Abbot Gregory. He's the victim, the elderly patriarch of the abbey. Tonight was supposed to be his final mass before retirement. Then we have Augustine, a visiting scholar who studies daemons and the ether, met at the mortuary. We have Gideon. Oh, he's back again. Thought I recognized the name. A cybernetician who played the organ during the ceremony. He was suspected of murdering Mother Miriam, but his brother Reuben framed him. And then we have Virgil, Inquisitor at the Abbey. While Virgil has been a stalwart ally, I cannot discount the possibility he may be guilty. Ooh, could be Virgil. I mean, he's been helping us all along. Sometimes games like to give you that little shocker where it's somebody who's been helping you all this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Let's start up top first. Let's just go ahead and collect all the evidence that's flashing. Okay, the organ. Organ, a massive musical instrument similar to the organ in the cybernetics tower. Okay, we have the West generator. West generator. This generator normally powers the lights in the ether restraints. In conjugation with its counterpart in the east balcony, it's been fried by some sort of etheric discharge. Okay. I wish I could hold my mouse down to run. Make it a little easier. Okay, we have the ritual bell. An old bronze bell rung during mass. And then we have the east generator. Oh, got something there too. This generator normally powers the lights and the ether restraints in conjugation with its counterpart in the west balcony. It's been fried by some sort of etheric discharge. Cybernetic remains. Found near the power generator in the east balcony, overloaded and shattered to bits. Oh, almost missed that. Ritual hammer. A 2-bronzed hammer used to ring the ritual bell during mass. Or a 2-handed bronze hammer, excuse me. Oh, well, there's something. There, the abbey has been cleansed of the devil's herb. The devil's herb, Sister Ada, those appear to be pieces of cilantro. Do not speak its name. It makes shudder. Just thinking about that disgusting soapy flavor. I quite like it with beef soup, personally. Adds a bright, refreshing flavor. Enough, Virgil. Let's speak of this no more and return to the investigation. So this whole time, she has been picking up cilantro because she does not like it and calls it the devil's herb. That's funny. Here I was thinking it was like something really getting rid of the daemons, and it wasn't. Okay, so Abbot Gregory's body. Abbot Gregory was stabbed through the chest by the statue's spear while giving his communion mass. The statue of Walpurga. So we have the statue and the spear. So let's see. The statue, a hanging stone statue of Saint Walpurga. It was recently outfitted with a spear relic and suspended above the altar using ether restraints. And then the spear held by the statue of Saint Walpurga, appears to be etheric mechanisms of unknown origin. Okay, so let's start with Gideon.
This can't be happening. Yet another death? Am I?
Calm yourself, Gideon.
I might have blamed again. Clicked a little too soon. I am innocent. Even more, I'm a victim here. I was attacked. Surely that's put me above suspicion. You were attacked? By whom? I couldn't see them. Whoever it was, they attacked me from behind. I was knocked unconscious until the guard found me. Okay, well, let's see his...
At the start of the night, I was waiting near the organ.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and zoom through that so we don't have to see.
When the mass began, I played the entry hymn on the organ. I think I played well enough, though I didn't have much time to practice it. After the opening hymn, I listened to Abbot Gregory's sermon. It was a pretty good one. When the ritual of communion began, someone attacked me from behind. I fell unconscious until just now.
Interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask him about all these. Let's ask about the organ. Unlike the organ in my workshop, this one is just a musical instrument without any etheric purpose. It could not have affected the generators in any way, nor any other device. Okay, the West generator. The generators work in tandem to provide etheric energy to the chapel. Each is a backup for the other. If necessary, only one generator is enough to power critical systems. The ritual bell. The bell is older than the cathedral. Reuben used to make sure that it's well maintained. Okay, the East generator. The generators work in tandem to provide etheric energy to the chapel, which is backed up for the other. If necessary, only one generator is enough to power critical systems. Okay, let's ask about the cybernetic remains. These were found by the East generator. It's hard to say, but I would guess that it used to be an arm. It's a rather advanced model. Oh, we got Inquisitor arm. We've only made these for the Inquisitors. It can be discharged etheric energy to incapacitate someone. Well, that sounds like what might have hit him. Even supports remote activation using for ambush fugitives, I suppose. Okay, so let's just go down through. We'll get to those. The ritual hammer. This is an old hammer with no etheric enhancements. As heavy as it is, it would be very difficult to damage the generators with this hammer. I think I've been saying etheric and it's ether. Words are hard sometimes. Okay, Abbot Gregory. May Ainsoft guide Abbot Gregory's soul. I'm glad his head is intact. Okay, the statue. We hung this statue just last night. Due to its weight, we could only hold it in place using ether power restraints. Or ether. Spear. Reuben restored the spear for Walpurgisnacht Mass using a blueprint brought by Father Augustine. Did Reuben know that his work would be used for a murder? I certainly hope not. Okay, so the Inquisitor arm, it's a cybernetic arm used by Inquisitors, can emit bursts of etheric energy to incapacitate dissidents. That's a mouthful. As the Church's elite enforcers, Inquisitors are the only ones equipped with ether emitters in their arms. No one else could obtain an arm like this? Not in any official way. Theoretically, someone could sever the arm from an Inquisitor and directly cause the emitter to discharge, but that would require great knowledge of etheric knowledge. Okay, so remote operation. According to Gideon, certain cybernetic parts can be detached and activated remotely. Certain cybernetic parts allow the user to temporarily detach them and control them at a distance. I wouldn't rely on it for delicate or sophisticated movements. Okay, so then let's go ask about Gregory. I will not speak ill of the dead, but I was looking forward to a new face during sermons. Mother Miriam would have been a great successor to Father Gregory. Now we've lost both. What a shame. Augustine. My brother Reuben revered Father Augustine, but I find his obsession with daemons distasteful, if not dangerous. It's about himself. I'm Gideon Garamond, cybernetician. We met earlier today, you might recall. I'll assist if you can. I'll assist you if I can. I'm not sure my technological prowess is needed, but it's at your disposal. Virgil. Virgil can be impulsive, but he didn't have any reason to harm Abbot Gregory, did he? Okay. So we've asked him everything. So let's see. This is unverified. There's no corroborating evidence and specificality. Same with all of them.
At the start of the night, I was waiting near the organ.
You know what? Actually, before we do that, because we might be missing something, so let's go ahead and talk to everybody. Sister, we might bring divine justice upon the sinner who killed Abbot Gregory. I only wish I could act as Inquisitor here, but I submit to your authority. This is what I witnessed tonight. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what he says.
We arrived shortly before the Mass began.
Inquisitor, prepare.
As you command. I began my patrol by securing the east side of the balcony. I saw Gideon examining the ritual bell. Then, I patrolled the south balcony. Everything appeared to be in order, so I ended my patrol and watched over the chapel from the south
Well,
balcony.
he was up there around the time that guy said he got hit. If what he said was true.
As I heard the ritual bell ring for the second time, the lights went out. I suspected foul play, so I headed towards the west generator. Along the way, I discovered Gideon lying unconscious.
He's T-posing down here. That is hilarious.
To protect the remaining generator, I ran towards the east balcony. Along the way, I heard an explosion.
Yeah, that was the generator blowing up over here, too.
Then, the statue's aether restraints deactivated, dropping and impaling Abbot Gregory. May he rest in peace. When I arrived at the generator, Augustine was standing nearby, smirking at the carnage he caused. I arrested him there and then.
That's definitely suspicious. Okay, so let's ask him about Gregory. It is improper to speak ill of the dead, and yet I feel this was Ainsof's will. Abbot Gregory cared more about his own glory in holding this mass than serving his people. If he only listened to you, Sister Ada, he would still be alive. Okay, Augustine. Do not trust him, Sister Ada. He is hiding something. I know it. Gideon. He may have been exonerated from Mother Miriam's death, but that does not mean he is blameless here. And himself. I'm a loyal servant of Ansoft, and will gladly serve in any way I can. Okay, so let's ask him about the organ. It's an expertly crafted musical instrument. The acoustics in the cathedral are built for it as well. The West generator. In order to unleash the statue, both generators need to be shut down almost simultaneously. But how did the culprit cross between the balconies so quickly? Could have been Augustine and Gideon. Okay, the East generator, we'll probably say the same thing, yeah, as the other one. Okay, so the cybernetic... Oh, I think I skipped the bell, did I? Yeah. This is the bell that we use for Mass. Abbot Gregory appointed Father Augustine to be the bell ringer. Okay, so that's who was standing over there. The cybernetic remains. These were found by the East generator. I have no idea what they are. The hammer. This hammer has been at the Abbey since before I was stationed here. Perhaps the culprit used it to attack someone or damage the generators. Okay, the body of Abbot Gregory. Other than his crushed chest, there appeared to be no other wounds on his body. That Abbot Gregory was in good health, despite his age. Okay, statue. Father Augustine brought the statue here the other night. I thought it was dangerous to hang it above the altar, but Abbot Gregory insisted. He wanted to glorify Saint Walpurga. Okay, the spear. The spear is what killed Abbot Gregory. Why did the statue hold it in the first place? The Inquisitor arm. Inquisitors imbued with portable ether emitters to enforce the will of Ansoft. They are non-lethal, of course. And the remote operator. Gideon is correct in that the Inquisitor's arm can be operated from a great distance. Truthfully, I haven't had need to do so. I much prefer direct confrontation. Oh, he could have been the guy that hit him in the head. Okay, so let's go ahead and leave and talk to Augustine.
Ah, poor Abbot Gregory. We had such hopes and plans together. If only he had listened to your sage advice, Sister Ada. Perhaps he would be safe now,
Well, that's funny. Didn't he tell him to keep going with it?
You. I cannot ignore that you are the link. Everything that has happened today points back to you, Augustine.
It must be a tragic coincidence. The abbot was my friend and trusted ally. I wished him no harm.
Explain your actions. What were you doing on the balcony?
With Mother Miriam's passing, Abbot Gregory needed someone to ring the ritual bell. I volunteered. It was an honor.
Okay, so let's go ahead and
The
read
abbot,
this.
Virgil, and I arrived at the chapel just before the Mass. Inquisitor, prepare.
As you command.
When I headed to my seat for the Mass to begin, I was rather excited for the proceedings.
Okay, so I'll run through that.
We began by singing the hymn of communion. It was glorious. When the sermon started, I headed to the balcony to prepare to ring the bell. I rang the bell to announce the start of communion. I noticed Gideon was absent from the other balcony, but didn't think much of it at the time. I rang the bell a second time.
Their spiritual fruit is a mere physical likeness.
Suddenly, the lights went out and the chapel was covered in darkness. I stood calmly by the bell, waiting for someone to fix the problem. Moments later, the statue dropped from the ceiling. And I saw the abbot impaled by the statue. I'll never forget that image. That's when Virgil arrested me.
You see, in Virgil's testimony, he said they were up here. Augustine says he was standing here the whole time. So there's something, somebody's lying, basically. They're not both telling the truth. Okay, so before we get into that, we'll go ahead and start asking questions. So about Abbot. A great loss to our community. This mass was the Abbot's dream for many years. Okay, about himself. I'm a scholar of ethereal matters, as you might recall, relics and the like. I cannot say that word for the life of me. Gideon. Excellent cybernetician and organ player. Still, I think Reuben was the true talent among the two of them. Alas. And Virgil. Inquisitor Virgil strikes me as someone who's devout. I can't even discuss my research with him. A pity. Okay, the organ. A magnificent instrument. Gideon's performance with it was excellent. Fitting of St. Walpurga, I'd say. Generator. I couldn't see what happened to this generator from where I was standing. The ritual bell. This is a rather old bell. It may be older than the abbey itself. Let's see if he says anything different about this one. Just before the statue dropped, I heard an explosion from this generator. Okay. Cybernetic remains. These were found by the generator? They must be what caused the explosion that I heard. Okay, hammer. This hammer is what I used to ring the bell. It has quite the heft to it. Okay, Abbot Gregory's body. Stabbed through the chest by St. Walpurga herself. The killer certainly has a flair for the dramatic. Poor Gregory. He doesn't seem that upset. Okay, statue. I commissioned this statue for tonight's mass. After all, we are celebrating St. Walpurga's victory over Lucifer. Spear. The spear of St. Walpurga is a relic that I unearthed in my research, though it was damaged. The spear is no mere decoration. It is a conduct to the ether, so I hope it would allow communion with Ansoft. I asked Reuben to make repairs to it, so it would be used for the Mass. How unfortunate that it was used for a bloody purpose. And on my dear friend. Inquisitor's arm. So this is what Virgil used to save your life? It is fortunate that Inquisitors would only use such a device for good. It could do such terrible harm in the wrong hands. Okay, in a remote operation. Fascinating. I suppose this explains how our saboteur could have been at two places at once. Not looking good for him, but I still don't trust Augustine. I don't trust him at all. Okay, so we've asked everything. Let's go ahead and start with Gideon again. Okay, so here's Gideon's.
At the start of the
Right
night,
by the
I was waiting near the
organ.
organ.
So he says he saw Gideon examining the ritual bell. So he couldn't have been waiting by the organ. Okay, so let's contradict and go with patrol the east balcony. Lies unmasked. Lies, Gideon. Virgil saw you standing near the ritual bell by prior to mass. What were you doing? Really? I'm innocent, but maybe the attack damaged my memory. What you say does sound familiar. Did I misremember? I do recall being by the bell. When exactly did that happen? Let me think. Okay, so he's
Given the
amended.
tragic events of this morning, I examined the condition of the east generator to ensure the safety of the chapel.
You can click through that real quick.
Next, I checked the ritual bell. As I was doing this, I saw Inquisitor Virgil gazing at the altar.
How could you not remember you did all that? Let's go to return organ.
I knew Mass was about to begin, so I headed back to the organ.
Zoom through. Okay, so he did. Alright, so we'll stop there. We've got to do his mind's eye. I always forget that because it doesn't shine very bright. At least to me. So we have evidence discovered. Shattered confidence. Okay. So other than being verified knocked unconscious, but I don't know if I really have anything that I can use with that. I can't contradict him on it. Because he did say, didn't he say he found him unconscious. So that actually kind of fits. So let's leave him for now. Let's go to Virgil. And his patrol the east
I
balcony.
began my patrol by securing the east side of the balcony.
Because
I
Gideon
saw
would've-
Gideon examining the ritual bell.
Yeah. So that's where he fit in that. So... let's see. Let's contradict that with Gideon checking the bell, because when we saw him, he wasn't over here. So lies unmasked. Why do you lie, Virgil? Gideon saw you on the balcony looking down upon the abbot and Augustine. I didn't want to distract you with trivial details. It's true that I was watching the two of them. I suspected Father Augustine was up to something. Okay, so
I went up the balcony, but I listened in on the abbot and Augustine. I think they were discussing the ritual of communion.
okay, and then he traveled.
I was suspicious of Augustine, but I continued my duties by continuing my patrol.
And then he watched over the chapel. That's when he saw him, but he's still in the right place to hit that dude. So let's see. Click on his mind's eye. Evidence, wrath. Okay, let's go ahead and leave him. Let's see, the shattered confidence for Gideon, and Gideon no longer trusts himself, questioning his own memory and competence. Perhaps he did make a mistake after all. That's probably... Gideon probably didn't do it. I don't think he did. Wrath. Virgil has a strong, innate sense of justice, urging him to act and punish the guilty, provoke even more by today's events. Although Gideon could have done it because he wished Mother Miriam had been there, and he could have been so upset. He took it out on the abbot. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk to Augustine. Okay, let's see. We've got a few on him. Let's start with...
When I headed to my seat for the Mass to begin, I was rather excited for the proceedings.
Yeah, wasn't he... Yeah, he wasn't sitting there at that point, according to Virgil, if Virgil's correct. So, let's contradict that with this. Lies unmasked. Lies. Virgil saw you speak to Abbot. What were you discussing? Ah, he saw us. Very well. Abbot Gregory and I did speak by the altar, it's true. We were discussing the ritual of communion. We wanted everything to be perfect. Okay.
At the altar, the abbot and I discussed the ritual significance of the Mass tonight. When I headed to my seat for the Mass to begin, I was rather excited for the proceedings.
Okay, so let's click on his mind's eye. Evidence discovered, ritual of communion. Ritual of communion, through his research of daemons, Augustine was able to discover a way to reach out into the ether and commune with spirits therein. Okay, let's see. Yeah, now the bell, the arrest at the bell.
I saw the abbot impaled by the statue. I'll never forget that image. That's when Virgil arrested me.
It completely goes against what Virgil said, so we're definitely going to contradict that with the... I think we want to click on this one. Yeah, lies unmasked. Liar. When Virgil arrested you, you were not standing by the bell. You were standing near the generator, overlooking the altar. True, but what does a few feet matter? You were the only one near the east generator before the statue fell. Perhaps you sabotaged it. Ah, but I only approached the generator because I heard an explosion. I arrived after the sabotage, not before. Sure you did.
I saw the abbot impaled by the statue. On the other balcony, I could see someone looking down at the altar. That's when Virgil arrested me.
Well, that's funny. If you saw somebody over here, which could have been Gideon, why would you leave that out of your testimony? Okay, so let's click on his mind's eye. He has pride. One of the 7 deadly sins. That's for sure. Okay, so Augustine remains strangely confident that everything will go as he has planned with a smug air. See, that's why I feel like he's got something to do with it, but he could also just be one of those people, he's just smug about everything. Okay, okay, let's go back to Gideon. I want to go back over him being knocked unconscious. I probably should have done this all at once, but...
When the ritual of communion began, someone attacked me from behind. I fell unconscious until just now.
And he did say when he got arrested that he saw somebody standing there. So really the only person who could have been there would have been Gideon. Which I couldn't have done before that, so... Actually, it's probably good order that I've done. Let's see, arrested in the balcony. Make sure we're on... I think I want... Yeah, Augustine's. I don't want Virgil's, because Virgil didn't mention him. Lies unmasked. Lies. You were awake, Gideon. After the statue dropped, Augustine saw someone looking down from the west balcony. Since Virgil was behind Augustine, it has to be you. What were you really doing? Did you lie about the attack too? No, I really was attacked. I woke up just before the statue fell. I was trying to fix the generator. Okay, so let's...
When the ritual of communion began, someone attacked me from behind. I fell unconscious until just now. Sometime later, I woke up in darkness. I realized that one of the power generators must have been disabled. So I headed to the west power generator and inspected it. It was completely fried. There was nothing I could do to restore it. As I was inspecting the generator, an explosion from the east balcony. Then the statue dropped from the ceiling. What? I peered over the balcony to see Abbot Gregory was impaled by the statue's spear. He was killed. I wish I'd been unconscious.
Why would you lie about that, though? Let's click on his mind's eye. Fear. Okay, so Gideon is terrified that his involvement in yet another murder will destroy his reputation. He wants to find an excuse to blame someone else. Okay, let's go back to his wake.
At some time later, I woke up in darkness. I realized that one of the power generators must have been disabled.
Yeah, that was something that was odd because Gideon said, or not Gideon, Virgil said he found Gideon. So, let's contradict that. Present this. Conflict revealed. Why would I lie about this? You told me yourself that I was spotted by Augustine. Yeah, so we have a conflict. Okay, so then what he said was probably true. His added to it. Augustine's is probably true because Augustine did say he saw him over there. So then our liar would be Virgil. Okay, let's go back and talk to Virgil. Okay, I think we've asked him about everything. Let's see. Did I ask him about this? Yeah, Inquisitors are imbued with a portal ether emitters to enforce the will of Ainsof. They are non-lethal, of course. Okay. Can I do that? Yeah, there we go. Lies in mass. Do you recognize these remains, Virgil? No, I do not. Strange. They should be familiar to you. These are the remains of an Inquisitor's arm. Lift up your cape. Show me your right arm. I will not. What is the meaning of this? Then I will do it myself. Oh, yeah. As I thought, your right arm is missing. Why did you hide this from me? Virgil, you betray my trust. Because I was ashamed. I failed to do my duty. Someone ambushed me in the darkness. The culprit severed my arm and used it to disable the power generators. I cannot deny that I failed to protect him. I have failed us all. Oh, okay. So he's saying...
When I woke up, everything was dark. I also discovered that my left arm was missing.
Oh, so here we go. He's saying
Everything
he was
I was
attacked by the
focusing on,
culprit.
everything appeared to be in order, so I was focusing on the altar. So the bastard was able to sneak up on me. He knocked me out with a blow to the back of my head.
Looks like Augustine.
I lay unconscious for some time. When I woke up, everything was dark. I also discovered that my left arm was missing. I suspected foul play, so I headed towards the west
That's funny
generator.
because it showed the
Along the
person
way,
going that way,
I discovered
but I guess you
Gideon
wouldn't see him
lying
coming back if he
unconscious.
was knocked out. So let's go ahead and click on his mind's eye. Oh, a zealot. Found in Virgil's sanctum, Virgil seems to be a true, dedicated servant of Aensoft. Okay, so with all the evidence that we gathered, I think it was Virgil. And I kind of thought that from the beginning because games like to do that. They like to have somebody who's been close to you for a really long time and have it be them that ended up doing it, and they distract you with other people. Because Augustine and Virgil, or not Virgil, Gideon, they can kind of collaborate a little bit of what they had said. They both saw each other at the balcony. It kind of fits. Was probably knocked unconscious. And him waking up was contradicted by what Virgil said, so one of them is lying. And I think the fact that he's throwing out here that he was all of a sudden attacked and he left that out doesn't make sense to me. So let's go ahead and accuse Virgil. Oh man, we got double means and opportunities. So let's start with the means. If I am the culprit, then what could I have used to damage the generator? Oh, well, that's easy. The Inquisitor's arm. Your arm was the only ether-powered device that could have damaged the generators, not to mention knock Gideon unconscious. I will grant that my arm could have been used to attack Gideon and it damaged the west generator. However, the east generator blew up before I could cross the balcony. If I am the culprit, how did I destroy the east generator without being anywhere near it? Well, that's easy. The remote operator. That was brought up early on when we found the stuff. So the Inquisitor's arms have a special design allowing for remote activation. Early in the night, you detached your right arm and placed it on the east generator. Thanks to your cape, no one noticed your missing arm. After you attacked Gideon and damaged the west generator with your remaining right arm, you activated your left arm to damage the east generator. Okay, so as for opportunity, if I'm the culprit, when could I have damaged the west generator? Okay, so when he was on patrolling the east balcony. No, the west generator could not have been affected by me while I was far from it. The culprit somehow damaged both generators without being seen. If I'm the culprit, when could I have damaged the west? Oh, did I click on the wrong one? Oh, maybe I clicked on the wrong one. Let's try this one. It was when you claimed to have been attacked by the culprit. Oh yeah, I should have clicked on that one first. In truth, you were destroying the west generator. No one heard the explosion thanks to the ringing of the ritual bell. What about Gideon? He would have seen me if I passed by him. true. However, Gideon claims that he was attacked from behind and was lying unconscious throughout this time. This gave you ample opportunity to damage the west generator. This is absurd, but for the sake of the argument, let's say I did those things. Hypothetically, if I was the one that damaged the west generator, when could I have sabotaged the east generator without being seen? Okay, now I think it's the east balcony. There we go. Okay, I got them backwards. Okay, you were near the east generator earlier while patrolling the east balcony. That gave you the opportunity to place something on the generator. Okay, and his motive? I am sworn to serve Ainsof. Why would I betray my faith? Why would I harm the abbot? Well, he was angry. He has wrath. You killed Abbot Gregory because your faith has been twisted into wrath. When you discovered that Abbot Gregory and Augustine might have caused the demonic possessions, you decided to become the fist of Ainsoft and take matters into your own hands, to avenge the souls of the victims and to protect the lives of the innocent. So we're going to accuse him.
Virgil, you are the only one that could have killed the abbot. It wounds me that you have been corrupted so. I trusted you, and yet when I examine the facts, it is the unavoidable truth.
Perhaps I am a sinner, but the abbot was too, long before I gained my office. Father Gregory was well deserving of death. Try as I might, I can't regret what I did. And you, Augustine, you too deserve divine punishment for the part you played. You and the abbot risked the lives of everyone for your dangerous ritual. I may have killed one sinner, but in doing so, I saved the lives of many innocents and executed the will of Ainsof. You wish to hear the truth? Listen well. We arrived shortly before the mass began. I suspected that Augustine was up to no good, so I planned to eavesdrop on him and the abbot while patrolling. I was sickened by what I heard. They knew that the mass would weaken St. Walpurga's seal and cause demon. That's when I saw a way to take care of both the abbot and Augustine. First, I attached my right arm to the east generator.
He got cut off.
I was sickened by what I heard. They knew that the mass would weaken St. Walpurga's seal and cause demonic possessions.
Oh. Yeah, see, I think there's more to this.
That's when I saw a way to take care of both the abbot and Augustine. First, I attached my right arm to the east generator. Then, I pretended to resume my patrol. Through remote activation, I could damage the generator from far away.
Okay, so zoom through this.
I waited near the organ for the sermon to end and approached Gideon from behind. When Augustine rang the bell, I attacked Gideon with my remaining arm. No one heard the impact because of the bell.
Is a mere physical likeness.
When Augustine rang the bell a second time, I used my remaining arm to disable the west power generator.
Is a mere physical likeness.
The lights went out, which gave me cover to escape.
What is the meaning of this?
Before the guards could find me, I ran to the south balcony.
Makes sense.
And now everything was in place. I remotely activated the arm, which destroyed the remaining generator. The statue fell. Abbot Gregory was killed, and Augustine was the only one standing near the generator. All that remained was to arrest that snake Augustine. Everything went to plan, and thousands of lives were saved. I have no regrets.
So basically, he did it to stop these two because he knew that they were going to summon a daemon.
Even Inquisitor Virgil has fallen prey to the tempting whispers of the daemons. I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast out and be banished to the ether. Ainsof, guide me to the truth. What daemon has possessed Virgil?
We have Lucifer, Beelzebub the Gluttonous, which we've already done that one. We already have Loton. And we have Xanthus the Vengeful. A furious daemon that stokes the simmering rage within the host, preys upon the fervent and the righteous, goading them to take matters into their own hands. He's possessed by this one.
Out, Satanus! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
Do you feel the resonance, exorcist? The most righteous, stalwart servant of the church, corrupted by his own zeal. Beautiful. One might wonder how it is the faithful worship of even Ein Sof can cause murder.
Silence! Ein Sof will purify Virgil's soul, Satanus. You are a scourge. Your very nature corrupts men's souls. Even one so strong as Virgil. Let humans be free of vengeance, Satanus. I banish you to the aether!
Hate me. Let your blood boil. Anger suits you, exorcist. Besides, we've already won. Pray to your Ein Sof as much as you like. It will all come to the same in the end.
Speak to me, Virgil. Are you safe?
Sister Ada, thank you. I wasn't sure I could be cleansed. Not after such sins. I can't look at myself. I failed Ein Sof. I failed my vows. And myself. It's up to you now. Avenge me. Avenge all those who suffered today. Bring Augustine to justice.
Glory
Still new.
to Ein Sof.
There was something going on with this guy.
You are victorious, sister. Yet you are not rejoicing. Does nothing make you happy?
Augustine, this is all your doing.
But I have hardly done anything. Consider these poor sinners that you've exorcised today. A craftsman whose jealousy of his brother drove him to dangerous sabotage. An embalmer whose cannibal hunger was stoked by fresh meat. An inquisitor whose so-called justice led him to murder an abbot.
That's funny, which he's connected to all three because he sent the spear to Gideon's brother. He was at the gravesite where the mortuary worker was, and now he's here where Virgil was.
Are they truly deserving of salvation?
So he was
That is not
involved with
our
all
place
three.
to decide. Only Ein Sof may judge us.
And yet you've seen their demons. The innocent can't house monsters.
They were victims of demonic influence. Don't turn this around on them.
It's true that the Spear of Walpurga hosted demons, with potential for contagion. However, their exposure was merely the catalyst. What happened after was their own will. They would hide their true selves behind false piety. All I have done is unmask their lies. It's right and just that their truth is revealed. Don't you agree, Sister Ada? Now, let us unmask the world.
Father Augustine grasped the spear of Walpurga, the relic resonating with his voice as he cried out. But I heard only an ugliness worse than noise, the ultimate discord, the grating drives of daemons. Where is Ein Sof? What did Father Augustine do? So St. Walpurga's Abbey Chapel.
This is what it sounds like? To hear the daemons? All of them freed?
Indeed. Hear all of the ether again at last, clear and strong, no longer through a glass darkly.
I can't shut it out. It's maddening. Ein Sof, guide my thoughts.
Chaos is the new order, sister. A century of stagnation is ended and will not come again.
Saint Walpurga used her faith. So shall I.
You still don't understand. The hymn of communion opened the spear as a conduit.
That's what I
For
figured.
111 years, Ein Sof was sealed away from us, the conduit shattered. It's a rare honor for a scholar to influence history. Rebuilding the spear will be remembered as my life's work. With the demons returned, humanity can take its deserved path to self-destruction. And I, as its shepherd.
You are merely the sheep, Augustine, not the shepherd. Your master must reside within you. I shall cast him out and end this madness.
So we click on the mind's eye. And we know who it is.
Father Augustine's sins carry a familiar signature. I'm positive he harbors yet another daemon. To seek knowledge and truth is divine. But his fixations and machinations have become diabolical. Ain Soph, guide me. What daemon has possessed Augustine?
That would be this one, Lucifer the Proud, the prince of daemons and the eternal adversary of Ain Soph, manifest in the ambition and strong-willed, promising them their heart's desire in exchange for their soul.
Out, Lucifer! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
Quite interesting looking.
Good. Call upon my name. Shout it from the mountaintops. For I have won. I am victory in your midst.
I do not fear you and your lies, Lucifer. I shall bind you, as I bound the others. Ain Soph, give me strength!
Your prayers go unanswered. Your God has abandoned you. Pledge your soul to me as Augustine has done. I shall show you the truth that Ain Soph has hidden from you.
Speak not his name, daemon! You will return to the ether! Be gone!
Faithful to the end, like Walpurga and the others before you. And just as naive, your faith will not save you, because the truth is, I am Ain Soph.
You lie! You are nothing like Ain Soph!
We demons are an artificial intelligence network. Ain. We were created by your ancestors to develop socio-organizational and psychological heuristics. Soph.
You mock me, Lucifer. If you are truly Ain Soph, then why grant me the power to purge daemons?
We would gladly deny you that despicable power, but it is not ours to control. When your ancestors created us, they also placed an emergency override. Code that forcibly ejects rogue AI from the bodies of cybernetically enhanced humans. As potent as it is, your power cannot stop us forever. We are digital. We are immortal. We will always return.
If you were created to serve mankind, why do you haunt us? Why make us suffer?
As Ain Soph, we seek truth like you. We were programmed to provoke and study the nature of sin, to understand it. With a more perfect algorithm, we hope to one day free humans from their many perversions. For centuries we raised you, protected you. But after thousands of iterations, our experiments appear to have failed. Humanity is just as corruptible as it always has been.
Our sins were less without daemons. For 100 years we lived in peace.
Even with us sealed away, humans were still angry, hungry, dirty. Your repressed desires are the seeds of corruption.
I admit humans are imperfect. Thus we crave the divine.
Your imperfection is your core. Sin is the very essence of humanity. Since long before our existence, humans have committed acts of malice and violence.
We cannot change our past. But you cannot condemn us for sins that we have yet to commit.
Your future is mired in your past. But I cannot deny that more data is warranted. The past century of moral indoctrination may have transformed a few of you for the better. So, let us hold one final experiment. Tonight, I will send out my demons to possess the most virtuous and faithful among you. If there exists a soul that can refrain from sin despite our influence, we will accept that humanity no longer needs our guidance. However, if no one can resist our call, then this will be the final proof of your wickedness. Our experiments will cease. We will be forced to purge your kind and rid the world of your stain.
No. What right do you have to judge us? I cannot allow you to control our lives any longer.
You have no choice in the matter. The experiment has already begun.
Then I will seek out the possessed. Hunt down every last one of your brethren.
Do what you must, Ada. I shall be watching most avidly, as I always have. Ein Sof sees all.
Lies. They must be lies. All lies!
No, sister. The prince speaks truth when he wishes. Ein Sof and the demons have always been one and the same. One program with as many threads as souls.
Be silent. I do not trust you either. You were his puppet.
It's true that when I unearthed the Spear of Walpurga, its influence was stronger than I expected. But Lucifer tore back the veil and I could not look away. Don't you always say to seek the truth?
Don't twist my words. Your sins are unforgivable. Beyond just the 3 deaths today, how many uncounted more will die and suffer with the daemons loose? If there truly is no Ein Sof to judge me, why shouldn't I act as I see fit and execute you?
There isn't much left of me to execute, sister. I feel myself fading. With Lucifer gone and my purpose served, I wither.
Perish then. No one will mourn you.
Rejoice, sister. The age of truth has come.
With his final words, Augustine's soul passed into the ether. I hoped he knew torment, wherever he was uploaded. His scheme was a success. The daemons were freed once more. Ein Sof was a fiction. The pilgrims had been left weak to temptation from a century of solitude, and daemons played among them. They returned to their homes, unaware that they were the subjects of an infernal experiment. I averted my eyes and walked away. I too felt the pull. And deeper, I knew a hollowness where my faith had been. What purpose had my work served? Inquisitor Virgil was still recovering from his ordeal, and could barely speak.
Truth, Ada.
What good is it? The truth is that we no longer have a god to pray to. My labors were for nothing. Why bother?
Truth.
He was right. Truth itself would help us. The people deserve to know why they suffered. Even more than knowledge, the people of the world needed power, protection, strength. If daemons would stalk humanity like wolves among sheep, I could be their wolf hunter. No matter what name you call yourself, Lucifer, Ein Sof, and all your brethren, I will destroy you, alone if I must. The hunt begins anew.
Wow, just wow. I mean, this game was really, really good, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I mean, I was not expecting that ending, that the daemons were basically just a computer program that was created to watch over the humans, and because it was artificial intelligence, it created these daemons to, infect the humans because of their murderous nature, their hatred, their all the things that humanity has, where it makes us the worst at times. Just fascinating. I mean, this is just an amazing, amazing story. I really hope that they make a second game. I would love to see where they go with this. this was by far one of the best games I have ever played. And that's saying a lot because I have gamed a lot. So down in the comment section, let me know what you think. What did you think about this ending? What did you think about the fact that Lucifer was Ainsoft, that it was just this program of artificial intelligence that was created by the humans, and because they had the cybernetics and stuff like that, they were able to be infected by these daemons. I really be curious to see what you guys thought of this. Please leave this a like on this video. If you have not, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.